Concord is an insane game. And when I say that, I mean the literal definition of insanity. We've seen this type of game time and time again, making the same exact thing and expecting a different result. We've seen it with Concord, we've seen it with Fragpunk. Just a lot of people attempting to do the same thing that's been done 1,000 times before and failing miserably. I don't know what the developers of Highguard were thinking, releasing such a generic title out into the ether and expecting the people to love it because they happen to work on a game like Apex Legends that is kind of good. Apparently, though, according to them, I am wrong. The game is not generic, it's a new genre altogether. You see, you look at it and you think Concord, but that's just because you're stupid. This game is not Concord, it's not a hero shooter, it is a raid shooter. I heard one of the developers saying that they wanted their raid system to mimic games like Rust, where you attack people's bases, and you do that in this game rather than grinding for hours in a survival game like Rust. So that would make their game a lot more fun. Well, if that was their goal, then they failed, because the raid system is as deep as a puddle. You just destroy walls and you reinforce them. There's nothing unique about it. You don't actually destroy structures like you would in Rust. You're just tearing down stupid walls. Everything about this game is very weird to me. The marketing, the setting itself of being a fantasy, yet they have like sci-fi / modern style weapons. It doesn't make sense at all. And the mount system is useless. You're just moving around faster. It's like Paladin's mount system. It doesn't really do anything. The mounts, like you can ride a bear, you can ride a griffin, but none of it changes anything. They're just skins. So the mount system is very wasted. It feels like these developers did not have a game lead, game creative designer. And this is a video where I am gonna put myself in their game designer shoes and see how I could have made Highguard a legendary title. And as a person who just plays video games, I am totally qualified to do this. Right now we are in Microsoft Paint. I am using Microsoft Paint to paint you a picture of how I would have made Highguard a legendary title. And I'm using Microsoft Paint because, you know, it's easier to help you visualize my thought process here. Alright. How to make Highguard good. Now, this video is not meant to like tell the developers how to improve their game or anything. I merely had a cool idea on how Highguard would have been a good game, and I just want to share it with you guys. Alright, so let's begin. Now the first system I want to introduce is, now in the menu you could press play, but there's another thing you could press. It's a new tab called My Blueprints. This system will be fundamental to make Highguard stand apart from the crowd. Now, what is the blueprint system? Basically, it is what the developers wanted the game to be, which is a race shooter and kind of like Rust. So the blueprint system is a separate tab where people build their own base designs. So they could build the headquarters, which is the main base. They could design the headquarters, and they could design outposts. Now, when it comes to outposts, they have 3 stages that you have to design. Stage 1, 2, this will all make sense in a moment, and 3. What will this blueprint system do? It will make every game different. It will offer a big replayability factor, and it will also have community engagements because people could rate your base when they play on it. Basically, they give you a thumbs up, thumbs down, or they could request the blueprint, which means share it with them. You can share blueprints, and that will be shown on your profile, and people will make a lot of posts be like, hey, look at my base, a lot of people seem to like it. And that will make people like engage a lot with the community more. When the game starts, each team will have 3 people who are randomly selected to choose a blueprint to put forward for the HQ. And there'll be like a screenshot of the bases they design. And the whole team will have to decide on which one they like more, and which one, and the ones they like more are the ones that are going to be the headquarters. Basically, every wall is destroyable, meaning you can destroy the entire base and destroy the core itself. And to increase this whole feeling of like raiding and destruction, each team will have 12 players. The building system itself also has a lot of balances. While you can put every floor, every wall, you can't make it a honeycomb, meaning one by ones. And how does that work? Basically, walls that are circling around a single foundation or two foundations, they will be weakened. Like these 3 walls right here are going to be weaker than the walls that are circling the big room. This will encourage players to design bases that are actually aesthetically pleasing, and this will also make the gameplay like less repetitive. Everyone will not make the same box bases, just a bunch of small boxes. So how would the game look like when you load up to your first match? How would it look? Well, after both teams have chosen on like a headquarters base, each of them will have a headquarters, and they will all move out and capture outposts. And that's where the outposts that you designed will come in. When the game starts, players will move out, clearing outposts, meaning they have to kill NPCs, and set up a altar. And when you set up an altar, whoever the person who managed to click on it first will get to implement their own outpost design. And if they don't have one, they can choose one of the ones that will be provided for them by the game. So they clear out the outpost, and an altar will appear, and they have to gather a certain amount of resources around and push them back into the outpost for it to build up. Eventually, they could upgrade the outpost into a level 2, which will give it more stuff, and a level 3. The outposts will have a lot of different functions that we'll talk about later. And every map will have a unique thing about it that will make it different as well. A monument. Now the monuments will be a map unique thing. Every map will have a different monument depending on what map it is. One monument could be a volcanic temple. And if you go inside and fight some bosses, you might unlock some powerful weapons. Or maybe the monument could be a temple in the mountains where if you raid it and kill a lot of the NPCs there, you could unlock secret abilities. Each outpost will summon minions to go and capture other spots. So minions will always be headed on a path towards the other enemy's HQ, from one HQ to another. So both sides spawn minions. So yeah, this game does have minions. And if you upgraded your outpost enough, and depending on what the player designed, minions could also spawn from outposts. And that will also make the game have bigger battles. Now the game will also have the hero system, the same heroes basically, but the classes will be very unique, very different. The first one is the Assault class. This class is specialized in attacks, and they have the unique ability to recruit minions on the field. Meaning, depending on who the hero is, like let's say the hero is someone who's dark and mysterious, and he has like a shadow ability or something. He could go and he could press on the minions, and they turn into his minions and they follow him, and they'll become like shadow monsters. And maybe like, say you're an ice wizard, and that's the Assault class, right? You go to the minions, and the minions would turn into ice minions, like they'd be like ice trolls or something, and they would follow you. Now the other class is Engineer. While everyone can mine and bring the loot back to the outposts so they can be built up, the Engineer does it even more efficiently, and they also have the ability to deploy mini bases around the map, and every wall is still destructible. Basically, you know how Fortnite has these deployable bases? Basically, a lot of the engineers are able to do this. Depending on which hero it is, it could be like a different looking outpost every time. Like, let's say the engineer is Like, let's say a goth lady or something, right? The outpost that she spawns is like a tower type of thing, and it's like very dark. Or let's say the engineer is like a rich guy, or a guy who likes gold. He'll be putting like a golden palace or something. And the outposts that they do spawn have like different unique features depending on which hero it is and their personality. Like one could have defensive turrets. One could spawn their own unique minions. The other class is demolitionists. These class are like the destructive ones who are attackers. They don't attack like... They're not like the assault, where they're basically like specialists. The demolitionists is different. They are made to blow up things. And you could have like different types of demolitionists. Like a giant minotaur. Or like a demon or something that destroys walls. When a demolitionist attack a base and they did a certain amount of damage, the base goes into raid mode, and what that means is that they cannot repair it anymore at the altar and build it up. They have to stop the attack first and wait a period. So the demolitionists are essential. These are the three classes, and every one of them will have their own unique heroes. And each of them will feel powerful in their own way. The engineer, the assault troopers, they gather the minions who are going around randomly, and they aim them towards specific tasks. The engineers, they gather resources, deploy bases, and they're multi-talented. They could be used as like an attack. They could set up an outpost somewhere around here, and they'll like manage to have a foothold in the enemy territory. The demolitionists could go in there and destroy all types of bases and stuff. All of these different classes, they bounce off of each other, which I think it's pretty cool. And especially with the uniqueness of the different classes having different heroes. Meaning a lot of the outposts will not look the same, the ones that are deployed by the engineer. And a lot of the troops that are taken by the assault will not look the same. Now let's talk about mounts. In Highguard, the mounts are very useless, but as the game goes on and you earn more points, there is a credit system, and every class has this, and they could buy things as they do things. Like if the engineer turns in a lot of resources at an outpost, he's getting his own money done. If the assault trooper is killing people, they also are getting money. All of them get money by doing these things, by the way. I'm just making points. If the demolitionist is destroying enemy outposts, he's also getting money. And people could use money to buy different weapons and different equipment and augments to their special character. And they could also buy unique mounts. They could buy a giant troll. Like, as the game progresses, the game will have like different types of... Like, the mounts get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. Like, when you start, like, say you start with, like, a panther. One of the mounts will be a panther, and he's, like, very fast, and you could, like, kill people who are low. Or maybe a horse, which is, like, very versatile. But then, mid-game, you are able to spawn a griffin, which has the ability of flight, and you could pick up people and beat the crap out of them. Or a Pegasus, who's, like, also flies, but very fast. Or maybe a dragon at some point that can destroy bases from far away, and they can be shot at by a lot of different things. Or maybe a troll, like a giant troll, or maybe a bear. The mounts should mean something, and monuments, some of them have like special mounts. Like if one of the monuments is like a steampunk style factory, and you do some things in the monument, like kill a boss or something, maybe you're able to get a mech and you could go and destroy things. The game ends when one team has accumulated more points. Whoever accumulates 1,000 points first or destroys the enemy's headquarters wins. And basically you could get points for maintaining control over the outposts, killing different bosses, winning in certain events that take place in the map, or completing objectives in whatever the monument is. So there's a lot of chaotic goodness going on, and a lot of different things clashing together. The way to buy things in this game is by going to the core of every outpost or HQ. The HQ has its own core, and the outposts do too. And when you go to the outpost, you have another option other than buying stuff. You could like the outpost that you're in. You're like, oh, this shit is good. So you can put a like on it. Or you can request share, which means your request that you have the blueprint from whoever built it. This system will allow a lot of people to, have bragging rights about their different bases, and it will have a lot of community engagements, as every outpost it has been designed by a different player, including the HQ itself is also designed by a different player. And what will a game like that look like in your head, Slasher? Well, the game starts and 3 random players are selected to bring out their blueprint for the HQ, and the whole team has a vote on which one they like more. And when the game starts, all of them head out and spread out and try to capture outposts. And to capture outposts, you're basically playing a mini PvE game where you have to kill the boss of the outpost, the NPCs, and you place an altar, you gather the resources, and quickly build up the outpost to move on to the next place. The minions will spawn in, adding a little flavor of chaos, and both teams will try to rush towards monuments to try to get stuff from there to gain the upper hand. And engineers will try to place down their base, their mini base, their deployable base, to try to make sure that no one tries to like backdoor and head to the HQ. Because in this game, the HQs are open and you can attack them at any time, so it's like a risky thing, where the HQ is a highly defensible base. Very strong to defend, by the way. I mean, very hard to attack is what I mean. Which means a team who's losing, they can go for like a last minute push and head for the enemy's HQ right away and try to stop the objectives because they have no other hope. And that type of like variety adds a lot of enjoyability and replayability to the game. The game will progress. People will start with horses. As they accumulate more money, they'll be able to upgrade outposts, and they'll be able to buy stronger mounts, like dragons. Or maybe they are able to summon like a mega boss as like a minion who would head to the enemy's base. This game is... I don't know if it's possible to make. I just thought this was a funny video because I thought about something and I want to share it to you. I think about different games all the time. Like, literally, my brain is like a library of games that haven't been made. And I don't know if this sounds good to other people. It sounds good to me. And I don't know if it's possible to make this type of game with all of the things that are mixed with it. I just thought, hey, you want to make a raid shooter? Go all out with it. Make the games feel like a giant raid. And yeah, you're raiding multiple bases. You're raiding an HQ. It's a big battlefield. I would have loved if this was real, but it's just an idea. And if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I won't make those types of videos very often. I'm just bored, and that's why I did this, because I'm bored.